inevitable.
Hi, welcome to this new tutorial. We will be recreating the Thanos snap effect. We have a particle system, procedural shader, and some forces. So we are going to go step by step, and at the end you will get a result similar to this. So if you are interested, let's get started. We will start by our subject. It will be Suzanne here. Control 2, shade smooth. The first thing I want to do is to change a few settings on Eevee. I'll go to Shading tab. And I will change a bit the lighting. I will also add an HDRI. Okay, let's start by the material of the Suzanne. I will use a texture coordinate, separate. I will use object here. And I will use a math node set to less than. Now I will use my X. And here we have a mask that we can animate to mix transparent BSDF. Let's add an empty, and with N we open here and we take the position, the location on X, copy as new driver. We go back to our material there and we paste it here. Now, if we move our empty on X, grab on X, you will see that the mask also changes. Now I will mix this using this as a factor. And I want my black part to be transparent, so I will plug this on the bottom and my transparent BSDF on top. Now we need to go to this tab, and we could use different blends, but the one that works better for me, that you can keep the shape and the inside at the same time, is alpha clip here. As you can see, we can even see the inside of the object. And as you move, I will scale this so we can see it, apply the scale. Now grab on X, and we have this already. For the material, I use something like a bit like gold, maybe. To make this less perfect, we will use a noise here. And now you can play with the factor, the scale, detail, etc. to get what you want here. I will increase the size. Maybe something like that. And now when it moves, our X, we have this. Okay, our shader is ready now. We have to take care of the particles. We will create, I used a plane here as a particle. We create a plane. You can use the scale inside the particles or scale the object yourself. It's the same thing. I will make it smaller there. Apply the scale, and I will make this hidden, even if it's inside. If we don't do it, you will see this thing there. For this plane, before we do that, I will create a copy of this material. I don't want the same because it becomes transparent and we don't want the particles to get that effect. So I will make a copy, and on this copy I will just plug this directly. So the particles have the same material, but it doesn't get the transparency. Now we have to create our emitter. I also use it. I tested a lot of things, booleans that doesn't work. So I ended up by using a plane, rotate on Y 90. Keep in mind that this will emit to the positive side of the normal. So in this case, not minus 90, or you will end up with the particles going the other side. Now we can parent this to our empty. So we select the plane, then the empty, Control P, object. Now it's there. We will add a particle system. In my case, you can try different numbers, no? But I used 50,000 here. My animation, it's 96. Well, you can change that, but 96 frames. And the lifetime, I set it to 200. We will add rotation, randomize. On the physics tab, this will be a balance between the mass we set here and the force field that we will use. We will use wind. Depending on the power of the wind that you use and the mass, the particles will behave differently. So here I used 0.5, and I added 0.4 here to add a bit of randomness to the movement of the particles. Here we will change this to object. The scale, we will start with 1 because we changed the size of our plane, and we will pick the plane here. Now we're starting to have particles here. I will decrease the size of it. Maybe about there. You can adjust later there. And you can add a little bit of randomness. I will add my timeline here. Okay, we have that. On the render, I don't want the emitter to be shown. And you can also change that for the viewport. Now to make these particles go up instead of down, I will add a force field here, wind. On the physics properties, I will increase the strength to 5, the noise amount to 10. Let's see how that looks. Now we have the particles going up. I will make my emitter to show in the viewport while we still are adjusting the settings. That will be easier. Now we want to move this, animate this. I will take my empty, go to frame 0, grab on X, and I will place it around there. You can insert a single keyframe here. Go to the last frame. We will do this 100. I will change this here also. And now we will move this to about there. Insert single keyframe, and now we have an animation, and I will leave it like this, that the extrapolation, because it's fine that it starts slow and it ends slow, like this. The last part we have to take care of at this point, the entire plane is emitting particles, and we want to have the particles emit only from the surface that is disappearing. And I tested a lot of things. Maybe I only tested a few, maybe half an hour, but I'm sure that's other ways to do this, but I did this manually. Since this is parented to the empty, the movement, it will be done automatically. All we have to do is to adapt the size in different moments of the animation. So at the start, I will match roughly this here. So I will scale on X. Let me remove this. This is the overlay to show the normals of the faces there. Scale on Y. We can move also on Y. Scale on Z. You can even grab it and move it around, because it will be like an offset. The only thing you have to be careful is not to move it on the Y-axis. So grab on Z, scale a bit more, scale on Y, and we start something like that. I will press N. I will increase the size here. And I will use keyframes for everything here. Insert keyframes. It will create a keyframe for each of the axes. And also we have to keyframe the scale. Insert keyframes. Let's go to about there. Scale on Z. Grab Y. And then insert keyframe, insert keyframe. Then we go to around there, 30. A bit earlier there. Grab on Y. Grab on Z. And maybe scale a bit. Insert keyframes. And I will fast forward this so you don't have to see every single keyframe. Okay, so this is my result so far. I will remove this now. And this is how it looks at the moment. And if you see that there's maybe there's a different there, you can come back and change a bit, insert keyframes in between them and adjust a bit. But basically that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope you have liked this tutorial and see you in the next video.